Okay, Cancer, we're going to be looking at your life for the next few months.
What you need to be aware of.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking?
Did we already do Cancer?
No, we haven't already done Cancer.
Okay.
No, what I was currently thinking is, oh my God, these things won't stay in my hand tonight on this specific reading. Normally they'll gather up in my hand very gently and like just be like, okay, here we are. So
just for our viewership, we've done a few readings already, and so I'm having to stay on track with which ones we haven't done. So we're doing Cancer now.
We are.
Good Lord, Cancer. You gonna make me work for my money tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. First off, let me say this is not a horrible reading. It's just a very deep reading. There's a depth in here that we don't get in a lot of these readings, because what has happened is that you have recently or are currently going through a spiritual death. That the old you is transforming, sort of like that thing about the butterfly. You know, the little caterpillar goes in the cocoon and comes back out a butterfly. Well, you are just now beginning to emerge from the cocoon. And it was a very very powerful journey that you've been on in your life up to this point. There have been really amazing things. There have been some very destructive things. But it's been a lot. And now you're coming out the other side, very wise. The one thing is that you're being rebirthed into a time of solitary enjoyment, where it's just for a while you're not going to need a lot of external stimulus to entertain you, which you have been notorious for in your past, relying too heavily on other people for their opinions and their validations. You're no longer needing that in your life. It's a very powerful time. Your healing abilities are rising to the surface, where you're becoming a healer. This scares you for some reason. You're not yet equipped emotionally to deal with the responsibility of a spiritual healer. Go ahead.
Okay. First and foremost, you have, like he was saying, you're either in or just moving out of a really difficult cycle for yourself. I think you've been feeling very unheard. Okay. I think it feels like when you're saying things, people are misconstruing them. It almost feels intentional. I think you've been trying to allow people a lot of leeway, which maybe they didn't deserve. But I think you've been kind of stomped on a lot lately, you know, and it's like it's made your little hard crabby shell have to like really endure a lot of stuff. You know, one of the things you've been really struggling with is that you've been needing to protect yourself from people who I think you would normally consider on your side. And so it's like there's this thing where it's like kind of like you feel like I know this is wrong and I don't know why this is wrong, but it feels like something's wrong. And so it like to you, you may even feel like you're overreacting, but you haven't been, you know. And what you're doing is just basically trying to keep yourself and everything going, you know, so that you can come through this spiritual awakening, you know. And any birth comes with a lot of pain. You know, when you're changing, people don't like it. They have problems watching other people change and, you know, grow in different directions. And so they sometimes try to hold you back, or they, you know, try to grab on and hold on for dear life. So I think that leads to the solitary
especially
enjoyments.
especially if they've been manipulating you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So, you know, the protecting yourself, that's actually okay. And if you have moved away from somebody or moved out of a situation, you may have second thoughts on it, but you've actually done the right thing. Whatever was going on in that situation was not beneficial to you as it stands now. It may have been originally, but at this point it no longer suits you. You no longer are in a position to take advantage of that.
It's also showing in here that you have been carrying other people's heavy emotional load for way too long. And that's going to have to be a conscious decision on your part to stop doing that, because it's no longer serving its purpose for you. You don't have to be anyone's spiritual IV bottle, their emotional IV bottle. And people are not ready to let you go because you've been validating their bullshit for a long, you've been co-signing their bullshit for a long time, and you're not there anymore. Things are going to be slipping out of your mouth that you're not going to expect when you're telling people your truth.
Yep.
And a lot of people are not going to be open to hearing it. So you may be looking at people leaving your life, which, yay.
Yeah, in this case, it's a good thing. It's absolutely a good thing. Um, you know, it may feel traumatic right now, but it will be a really, really blessed burden removal type of thing for you. You know, your emotions and your intuition are dead on right now. So trust yourself, trust your guts, trust what you're doing, trust those natural instincts to protect yourself. You know, another benefit that you're going to be seeing is that your finances are going to be coming up. And that deals a lot with your strength right now. So it's like your it's almost like in part by leaving this situation that your finances get better, which tells me that the other person or the other situation has been a drain on you. But the other thing is like I say, it's like getting away from this puts you in a position of finally getting to your strengths, you know, and being able to play to your strengths. Whereas, you know, your emotions, Cancer, are one of the things that are your strengths, because you are very emotional, you're very aware of your emotions. And I think you've been kind of stuffing on the emotions. And so being allowed to have the range of emotion that you normally have will put you back into a good position where you get centered in yourself and you attain the balance that you need, you know. And so this looks really good because, again, your emotions are coming straight up, your intuition is straight up, your finances are straight up, and your strength is straight up. All four of those things are in a great position, you know. So you're moving into a very good phase from here.
Now, there's one warning I would like to maybe impart with you, and that's the difference between guilt and shame.
Mm-hmm.
Guilt is what we do to ourselves. It's stuff that we've done that we feel guilty for because it goes against our moral, what we know to be our truth, our highest self. Shame is what other people put on us. Your reading is relatively guilt-free, but it's filled with people wanting to shame you for your decisions. And you have been, for a long time, accepting other people's shame. This goes back into the family, where you have family members.
Manipulation.
Absolutely. Emotional hostage crisis in a lot of cases. So the stuff you're going to be feeling may not be yours. So release it. Let it go. Figure out whose voice that is in your head that is shaming you, and give that shame back to them, because that's their stuff. That's not your stuff. Because you have no reason to look at the universal gifts that you're being given and have any guilt or shame about those. Those are gifts from the universe. Those are not. You have a divine right for everything coming your way.
And you have a divine right to have joy in your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. You don't need to be fettered and chained to someone else's BS. You have a right to the joy, to the happiness, to the positive emotions. And it looks like you've gone through the negative. So it's okay to shine right now and not feel guilty about it.
And that's all I'm saying. Yeah. Take 2.
That's it.
That's all I'm saying.
Me too. Like and subscribe.
And thank you for joining us, and share this with your friends.
Indeed. What he said. Ciao.